Hello and welcome to the Above Limits podcast. We haven't done this in a while. My name is Olympus Mons. Today we're discussing Kathy Griffin. Um, she did a photo shoot yesterday in which she says that she did a parody of an ISIS video in which she holds up a uh, a beheaded Donald Trump. I don't really call this a parody. I think it's just like I chopped Donald Trump's head off. I think if it would have been a parody, she would have been like an ode to ISIS or whatever. She would have um, maybe worn some type of militant garb, regalia of some sort, and held up a beheaded Donald Trump figure. But I've been wanting to make this video for a while, and this video is sponsored by Budweiser, King of Beers. And I have been wanting to make this video for a while, but the problem with my politics these days is I've literally just don't care. And it's very hard for me to explain yet how I feel. But I think I'm going to attempt to do it today. Uh, Kathy Griffin, she, man, has she aged horrifically. I mean, she looks like what's his name? Andy Dick in drag. You know what I mean? She looks terrible. Yeah, she literally looks like she's on crack, and she actually used to have a pretty good figure and look good, but man, in this last year or so, I don't know. And she probably like dieting, like that's her in shape. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just age is catching up to her, as it will me someday. But she says she made her apology video, which she says, I'm a comic. I'm a comic. And the thing about comedy is that nothing's off limits. There's people that make rape jokes. I think Tasho came under fire, and many comedians came to his defense. The guy that played Kramer was shouting nigger and into the audience, but he wasn't trying to be funny. He was genuinely mad, but in comedy, nothing's off limits. It's all across that line. But there was nothing comical about this. This was a political statement. And I wanted to make this video a while when Milo Yiannopoulos was under fire for his comments about how a gay kid like himself, his personal situation or his personal thing that happened in his life, where he was in a sexual relationship with an older man, you know what I mean, in his early teens, and how he was emotionally mature for such things. And he got fired from Breitbart for it, and basically hit the momentum of his career, lost all steam. And you don't really hear as much from Milo as you used to. But the thing that I saw was all these comics, Amy Schumer, Sarah Silverman, Dave Attell, who's Chelsea Handler. Like literally, she goes on these different. They go on these different programs, and they go on Twitter, and they give their political opinion. And all of Hollywood is doing this, where people are so stupid to where they see basically, celebrities with their political opinion and go, oh, they make something with them, and especially with these comics. These comics go on Bill Maher, and I heard Chelsea Handler on Howard Stern, and then the next week she was on Bill Maher, just giving her political opinion, which is just, it's all based off of opinion and you know anecdotes of how they feel about Trump and how Trump is a disaster. Yet Milo Yiannopoulos could stomp any of them in a debate, you know. And also Milo Yiannopoulos is funny. He does a bit of stand up. He does a bit of comedy. He does a bit of entertaining a crowd. He gets paid handsomely for it, and he visits college circuits, and these people, if they really wanted to affect change, they could do the same thing that Milo's doing. But instead they just banter their opinions on radio shows and talk shows, as if anybody gives a fuck what the fuck Chelsea Handler or fucking Amy Schumer with her joke stealing ass, her non-original fucking ass, her talentless ass. And most of these people are talentless. Look at the guy that fucking was giving Milo problems on Bill Maher. That guy's a hack. He's a hack comedian. They're not funny. They are not funny. They have a name, they have a voice, they have followers, but other than that, they're talentless. And you got a young guy who could battle in the political field and could have been the White House press secretary. Yet he's an example of this hatred towards the right wing, and which I'm getting older, but I'm still liberal on things, and I'm conservative on other things. You know what I mean? I live in reality. I don't live in this that the world's a great place. The world's pretty volatile. The world is pretty angry. The world is pretty mean. So, they couldn't compete with Milo, so they had to get rid of him. And that's these we call it conspiracy or an agenda of darker forces, agents of misdirection or misinformation that invented this word that we now know as fake news. Fake hysteria or fake outrage over people with actual voices and actual fact-based opinions that a majority of Americans believe. Now we'll switch gears to Kathy Griffin. I mean, I'm a comedian. Who cares? It wasn't funny. You know what I mean? Good, you're fired. Good. Shows you. You want to behead the sitting president. And this is an example of people that think like her. That all the people that voted for Trump and Trump getting the Electoral College vote, as we do it here in America, if you understand civics and you understand, the structure of government and how government works, Trump is the president, and these people are so angry. I'm going to give another example. Okay, when this whole thing with Syria, I wanted to make this video a long time ago. I just haven't. When Syria, supposedly the Syrian government used chemical agents on its own people, the media stood up there with their stern faces and said, we must do something about it. The left did this. Some of the right also. Yet some people say, we don't believe that Assad is doing all this. There's countering information that says that Assad had nothing to do with those attacks. and we shouldn't be intervening and being the world's police. There's a majority of people that believe all that, but yet the media went up there with a stern face, and then Ivanka Trump, got her father basically to retaliate against the Syrian army. And the thing my main point that I was saying when that was happening is that the media and Hollywood and all these people, it's not their sons and daughters going to war for these causes, for these New World Order agenda. It's our brothers and sisters, it's our neighbors and friends and family that'll be fighting these wars and dying for these fake CIA government led intervening in other countries that we've known for years has basically been just a front for laundering money, drugs, and whatever the boogeyman wants to do in the New World Order agenda. Yet people still believe this stuff, and we call this fake news, which is true. You have John McCain. Here, let's go back a little bit. When Trump bombed Syria, after the media, the mainstream media gave that stern face, what are you going to do, Trump? You have to do something about it. The minute those fucking bombs hit, they were like, he didn't have congressional approval. What do you think of that? Is there any type of criminal implication, or could he be impeached? Trying to find all these different ways to impeach the man. He hasn't even been in office for 6 months. And let's talk about that 6 months since Donald Trump's been elected. Supposedly, the Russians stole the election for Donald Trump. Yet 6 months later, we still have no evidence given to the American people saying what voting machine, on what date of the final election count was tampered with, hacked, intrusion, detection on it. Where was these Russian hackers infiltrating and manipulating the voter machines? It doesn't exist. Yet you'll still have a person like John McCain who's still talking about these people. Oh my God. You'll have John McCain still saying this type of stuff on TV regularly as of 6 months after the President Trump is president. Delegitimizing the sitting president. Show me the evidence. Who's going to go to jail? There's no evidence of it. Oh, well, the CIA and the FBI say so. Well, they've said a lot of things, and people still believe that. People still will regurgitate that type of, they'll repeat that type of information to you in arguments and debates and on Facebook, and they'll tell you that the Russians helped Trump steal the election. Show me the evidence. And that's what we're talking about. Kathy Griffin is just an example of all this. And we live in a very messed up world, as far as us not knowing the truth, people in the background manipulating facts and putting forth their own version of events and having a voice to get millions of people to believe it. We're not talking flat earth. We're not talking dinosaurs don't exist. We're talking about the political system that is if is affect that affects all of us, that is being that we're being lied to and force fed fake information, which we now, as of 2017, we call this fake news. Yet people want to use it, fake news, as a meme, or fake whatever as a talking point that a person like me doesn't know what I'm talking about. When I know I know what I'm talking about. So in the end, I am glad that Kathy Griffin is fired. I could care less, and I would rather not hear what comedians want to tell me how I should feel. Stick to your comedy. You know, what's funny is that the politicians can't even get the facts right. So we have the comedians there to tell you what the facts are. We're so backwards. And that's why I've been silent on any type of political discussion, because people, you can't make any sense with these people. They want to tell you how you are. I'm misled. I'm misinformed. No, no. Sorry. Much love to Sinbad. I wish he was here with us to be talking about this type of stuff, and I will start making more videos. And this is my main channel now for political talk and just general ranting. So I miss Sin, and I wish y'all would have seen him more often. And he went too soon. And everybody, thank you for listening, and subscribe, of course. And that's pretty much it. If you like what I'm talking about, just subscribe, and then we'll do it some more. This is Olympus Mons with the Above Limits podcast. Have a good day.